Welcome to Pack Voyager, where we highlight some of the most beautiful, historic, and authentic places in Pakistan for visitors to explore. With a diverse environment, welcoming communities, and rich history, people from all over the world travel to Pakistan for an adventure of a lifetime. In today's video, we will explore the ancient Baltit Fort in the Hunza Valley. You'll learn all about its location, lore, structure, preservation, and what to expect if you travel there. Pack your bags, it's time to take a journey back in time. If you love information like this, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to plan your trip, follow the link in the description section to book your trip with Pack Voyager.
Location. Positioned in the northern stretches of Pakistan, along the river in the Hunza Valley, you will find the ancient Baltit Fort. Baltit Fort was the capital of this region during the Hunza state, and the old settlement is still intact to this day. The Hunza Valley is part of the Gilgit-Baltistan region. Numerous giant mountain peaks, including Rakaposhi, Gentasar, Ultasar, and Ladyfinger Peak, surround the Baltit Fort. The stronghold nestles against a glacier. Did you know there are more than 7,000 of them in this region? This valley shares its border with China towards the northeast and Tajikistan and Afghanistan towards the northwest. Hunza state also bordered Gilgit Agency to the south and Negar to the east. This area was once a treacherous crossroad for trade and conquest and led to cultural diversity, and those influences are seen to this day within the fort. Because of the seismic activity in the region, masses of rocks and sediments were carried down and deposited by a glacier that the Baltit Fort was placed by for protection. This clever placement made one less side of the fort to protect from invaders. Lore. Like many regions throughout the world, Pakistan used to have many principalities. These kingdoms also built fortifications to protect themselves from invaders. However, many of them either deteriorated over time or were destroyed by invaders. The worst destructive attacks didn't happen in the Middle Ages, but in the 19th century, as part of the horrific attacks launched by the Maharaja of Kashmir. Baltistan was conquered and destroyed in 1840. Gilgit was destroyed in 1842 and in the 1860s. Chilas in 1851, Yasin in 1863, and Darel in 1866. Hunza, however, was successful in defending its forts against the invasions of the Maharaja of Kashmir and Negar. This is why visitors are still able to enjoy the history behind these forts today. This area is rich with history, tales of power, pressure, revenge, and war. The Hunza region had its fair share of political upheaval. Hunza was once known as Kanjut and was an independent principality headed by a hereditary ruler, the Mir Tam, in the local Brushashki language. The hierarchy of power then went down to the Wazir, who acted as a prime minister, arbitrator, and military commander. Then you'd find the Trangfar, or village leader, that operated under the direct supervision of the Wazir. The Trangfar handled all day-to-day operations of the village and would mobilize the community as needed for public projects and to resolve minor conflicts. The Mirs of Hunza is a family dynasty, claiming their power and authority came from the Ayash, sky, or dwellers of the sky. Their bloodline dates back to a refugee prince Azar Kamshed of the Kayan dynasty, whose great-grandson Sahib Khan, known as Gurkis, was awarded control over the Hunza Valley. Sahib Khan's other great-grandson, Maglot, had control over the Negar Valley. We can blame sibling rivalry or power hunger. Meglot killed Sahir Khan, Gurkis, during a hunting expedition and took control of the valley. This Mir did not have a son, so his daughter, Nur Bibi, succeeded the throne, and she married a fugitive prince of Hunza, Prince Shah Khan Ayasho. Shah Khan Ayasho was brought from Afghanistan by Wazir Bhutto. This line continued right until 1974, the last reign of the final reigning Mir Tam, Mir Muhammad Jamal Khan. The people of Hunza have a less documented heritage. Some believe warriors of Alexander the Great settled here with their Persian wives, while other local traditions trace their ancestry to Huns or Mongols who were fleeing their homeland. The diversity of this region is seen in many ways, including the languages spoken here. There are 4 separate ethno-linguistic groups represented in Hunza. First is Shin, who reside in the lower part of the valley. Then you have Brusho, who live primarily in the central portion of Hunza. Next you have the Waki, who were immigrants and occupy the upper Hunza. Finally, you have the Dom, a small indigenous community, once musicians during the Hunza state. Islam, the Shia Asnashari school of thought, came to Hunza in the 16th century after Ayasho II married a princess from Baltistan. Approximately 2 centuries later, on the invitation of the Mir of Hunza, Mir Salim Khan (1790 to 1824), Ismaili preachers visited the region. Hunzakuts converted to Shia Ismaili Islam and adopted Ismaili doctrines, except in the Ganesh village. The Mirs of Hunza knew how hard it was for invaders to attack this region, but that did not mean it was impossible. The clever move was to create a fortress or stronghold to shield the citizens against attack from outsiders and any sieges set upon them. While the monarchs of the Hunza originally resided in the Baltit Fort, another family conflict between brothers changed that power seat over to Baltit Fort, placed high above the valley, against the side of the glacier for the best vantage point. The foundation of the fort dates back to the 8th century, although the structure itself has undergone many additions and modifications over the years. Carbon dating indicates some of these additions were made in the 13th century. In the 16th century, Mir of Hunza, Ayashu II, wed Princess Shah Khatun from Baltistan. She brought with her many artisans who influenced the design visitors to the fort see today. Baltistan was heavily influenced by Tibetan culture and architecture, so the facelift the princess ordered resembled the Potala Palace in Lhasa. Additional changes were made to the fort, including the addition of colored glass, a more colonial-style front elevation, and lime washing. During the 19th century, Hunza became embroiled in the Great Game. In 1888, Russian Captain Bronislaw Grubereski visited Hunza and met Mir Safdar Ali Khan and offered his military assistance against the British. Mir Safdar Ali Khan was in support of Russians and blocked British access to China through Hunza Valley. British Captain Francis Younghusband visited the same year trying to persuade Mir Safdar Ali Khan to give access to China and refrain or stay away from Russians. In 1891, as part of an overall strategy to restrict the Russians, the British invaded Hunza and eventually conquered the region after 6 months of resistance. In 1891, the British made the last Mir Safdar Ali Khan (1886 to 1888) escape to China along with his brothers Prince Mohammed Nafis Khan and Mir Mohammed Nazim Khan. Mir Mohammed Nazim Khan was later brought back from China and Mir of Hunza by the British in April of 1892. Hunza enjoyed semi-independence during British rule. Abandoned by 1945, the fort eventually fell into disrepair, the elements taking away some of its grandeur and weakening its structure. Using archaeological techniques during the survey and conservation of the fort, more than 70 phases of construction were identified. The structure. Visitors feel like they're stepping back in time when wandering through this structure. Baltit's main structure is a pegged timber frame because it can handle the seismic activity in the region better than a more rigid material. Visitors walk through the main entrance via a stone staircase and a long hung wooden door. Small doors like this were designed to keep brutal winter weather at bay and to help defend against intruding outside forces. Once on the first floor, visitors observe a wooden skylight within the open square structure so often found in forts and used as gathering spaces. This open space has many adjacent rooms and several ground storage spaces used to preserve wheat grain. This first floor also is the home to the main kitchen area, with a large traditional fireplace for cooking and super-secret conference rooms where the business would take place. There is a small burrow built into this room that would house any gold or treasures the Mir kept on hand. From the first floor, one can access the ground floor. Many changes over the years have taken place in this part of the building. Experts can see the difference in periods between wall structures, tunnels, and flooring throughout this level. Much research is still needed to determine whether it held guards, prisoners, or defense soldiers. The upper floors provide a courtyard with exceptional 360-degree views of the surrounding valley. Visitors will find a handcrafted and beautifully designed wooden ceiling and a wooden throne. This space is where the Mir of Hunza would gather with notable villagers or conduct public events and meetings. The left corner of the roof houses the watchtower and the wooden mosque. There are reception rooms here filled with pictures of the royal lineage, armory, and ibex heads. A carved skylight suspended in the middle of the ceiling provides all the light into the space. You'll also find intricate carvings on the wooden door of Mir's summer bedroom, a space lined with a golden woven carpet and historical pacts and agreements on the walls. Large coloured glass-panelled windows line the main wall overlooking the valley. A private dining room with a fireplace adjoins this space. There is a wooden door on the upper floor that takes one into the backyard area of the fort. There was once a watchtower outside this door, but the British ordered it to be demolished. Visitors can see the Mir's water channel from this spot, as well as the Ulta Glacier. There is a much varied and captivating history to this fort over hundreds of years. The best way to learn more is through visiting this unique structure yourself. Preservation and visitation. In 1985, the Aga Khan Trust for Culture brought on Richard Hughes and Didier Lefort to develop a plan to save the Baltit Fort from further disrepair. Their ideas became a full-scale, complex conservation proposal. Hughes, an English engineer specializing in seismic-proof structures and soil buildings, worked with Lefort, a French architect and designer. Mir Ghazanfar Ali Khan graciously donated the fort and is now managed by Baltit Heritage Trust. This exchange happened in 1989. The donation of the fort went to the Baltit Heritage Trust, which was established as a caretaker for the facility. Now the restoration could begin, and the current museum was established. Baltit Fort has been on the tentative list of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites since 2004. The fort is now open to the public daily for tours, and the surrounding area has grown into quite a tourist location. Numerous restaurants and various tours are running throughout the region. We hope you learned a lot about Baltit Fort and are longing for more. If you're into videos like this, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new video posting. To learn more about the authentic and exciting places of Pakistan, you should contact Pak Voyager today. An online tour and travel booking platform for Pakistan, Pak Voyager can help you book the adventure of a lifetime. Simply click the link in the description section of this video to get started now. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and LinkedIn to keep up to date with all our latest travel packages and options.